Hey everyone, happy Sunday, unless you're watching this on a different day. I am currently in my PJs. I got my slippers on that the hotel just gave me from a turn down, what's it called?
Turn down service.
A turn down service. And I'm in Alabama here for work, but I decided that instead of doing a video for each week at the end of the month, I'm going to hopefully, cross my fingers, I can get this done for you each week, is send you a video each week about the challenge, and it will guide you, kind of give you some of my experiences. That was a lot in part because of your feedback on, you'll watch them. It's easier to watch them if they're one a week. And then another thing is I was talking about things that already happened. So if you're watching a video of things that, you're just challenged to do, it may give you some insight and motivation and encouragement for whatever challenge it is that week. We are going to dive right in. This week's challenge is all about goal setting. I talk a lot. I'm a big fan of Rachel Hollis. She's done a lot of really big, amazing things in her life, and I attribute that to the goals she set. She recently had a podcast. She made a podcast about goal setting, and I was like, you know what? Everyone needs to watch this. So please, take 20 minutes to listen to it. I feel like that is really going to help you form your goal. And I'm going to walk through a little bit about what I did for my goal using her tips and tactics. So she talks about imagining your best life, the best version of yourself. What does that look like? And what can you do to get to that point in your life? Another thing is, if you read through the email before watching this, we are just focusing on one goal. If you have 6 different goals, 3 different goals, 20 different goals, and you're trying to work on them all at once, you're not going to get very far. If you can put everything into one goal, then you're going to have a lot more traction than if you're putting a little bit of effort into a bunch of goals. So this month, and honestly, really, hopefully until you achieve this one goal, let's just focus on the one big goal. And oftentimes what will happen is when you focus on one goal, it's going to impact other things that you want in your life. So for me, I really want to be debt-free. When Rachel talks about imagine the best version of yourself, I am tired of paying on my debt. I'm tired of paying student loans. I'm tired of saying I'm going to be paying those the rest of my life. I am tired of being stressed about finances. I don't want my income going to other people. I want my income to come to me, and then, I get to decide where that's going. I want to be able to do things in my life. I want to be able to give to other people. Those are things that I imagine. I mean, there's a lot more. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about that, but just start thinking about your life and what you want it to look like. From there, that's when you figure out what your goal is. So my goal, and I actually broke mine up into 2, like a short-term and a long-term goal, just because my long-term goal goes until I'm 30, and so that's a couple years away. So I really, my short-term goal is I will pay off my credit card and my car by the end of the year. And this is big for me. I've never taken that much control of my finances, my debt. I've always just paid the minimum payment, and so this is something really important to me, and I know that if I can do these things, then by age 30 I can have my debt-free scream with Dave Ramsey, and that is my long-term goal, to do that by age 30. So write down your goal, figure out what you want, and then from there, a big thing that Rachel talks about that has helped me a lot is writing down your results. So what is your life going to look like once you've achieved that goal? I'm going to read you mine. There's probably more. You can do, you know, she said between 5 and 10, if you want to do 3 to 5, you know, write just results. So as you are working toward your goal, you can look to your results and, you know, say, these are my results. I am financially free. Number 1. Number 2, I get to decide where my money goes versus it being spent before I have it. Number 3, I am not taking Sally Mae to the grave. Not happening. Number 4, I can afford the trip to Target. I mean, come on, girls. You know, you go to Target looking for a shirt and you walk out spending $100. It's just how it works. I don't want to have to look at my banking app to make sure I have enough money. And number 5, I am at a baby step number 2. So if you know who Dave Ramsey is, if you know the 7 baby steps, then you'll appreciate that one if you have been in debt. Okay, so that's Rachel's second step for goal setting. Third one is creating a roadmap, and I'm going to share with you a little bit kind of what mine looks like. So my roadmap, the big thing was reading Total Money Makeover. That is a book that has honestly changed my life. The cool thing about that book is it kind of outlined a roadmap for me. It gave me tangible things for me to do to get out of debt. So from after I read it, I had to get real with my debt. I needed to figure out how much debt I was in, write it out smallest to largest. I needed to create a budget. I needed to use the envelope system. I needed to use the debt snowball. As I'm doing the debt snowball, reward myself along the way. Keeping my goal in sight, I listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast every single day. I call it my Daily Dave. These are things that are going to help me get to my goal, which is being debt-free. Okay, so you have your map, and then the next thing is write down possibilities. List anything you can think of that is going to help you get to where you want to be on your roadmap with your goal. I wrote down things such as get a side hustle, some kind of extra money for income, sell stuffs, finish the scrapbooks, drive for Lyft, publish your book, start your own business, whatever that entails. Another thing is keep your goal in mind at all times. So this is me listening to podcasts. This is me having my debt snowball sheet posted in like 3 different places in my house so I see it every single day. This is me making a budget every single month, being frugal, living below my means. All my extra money that I get is going to my debt. I'm just listing off a bunch of possibilities of things that I can do to help me, reach my goal. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Top 1, Dave Ramsey. There's a bunch of Facebook groups, YouTube videos, Rachel Cruz, the Ramsey personalities. Talk to people who have been there and figure out what they've done. That's what I love about the Dave Ramsey show, because it shows, especially when people do their debt-free scream, that gives me hope. And I think, if they can do it, I can do it. After that, her thing is you have to go all in. Take massive action today. Don't start tomorrow. You're starting today. Then this is your lifestyle. This is not just something you do to check a box. It's who you are. It's funny because since I listen to Dave Ramsey a lot, one of the guys who was on the show, he was talking about how he's now very wealthy, and he could have, his example was he, when he goes grocery shopping, even though he has all this money, he still buys the cheap milk versus the expensive milk, which I didn't even know there was much of a difference. But it's because it's his lifestyle to, be frugal and live below his means. So why is he going to pay more for milk when he's been living his whole, a majority of his life with the cheaper milk. And then you need to check in. Make sure that you're on the right path. She talks about doing this every week. She picked every Sunday, but checking in to make sure that you are still in line with your goals. So that's my goal. Remember, when you're forming yours, pick one, go all in on it. The big thing here is you need to write down your goal and your results every single day. And this is going to help you keep it in your mind. I've been doing this since the beginning of the, the beginning of the year, now that we're in February. And so it really helps you keep everything in your mind fresh, so you're not staying off track. You know, if you want to eat healthier, if you want to be in the best shape of your life, you know, when you drive by Taco Bell, you're not stopping, you know, you're not stopping by, you're not doing things because every day you've thought about who you want to become, the best version of yourself. You're gonna go for that goal. So that's really what I have to say about the challenge this week. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you in the Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, please join. That's where we support each other, encourage each other, help each other out with the challenge. And I will see you next week for week 7. But in the meantime, good luck with your goal setting.